Tom Selleck has been a popular Hollywood figure for decades, earning millions of dollars in the process. Starting with an amazing $1.2 million, or $500,000 per episode, on Magnum PI and rising to $200,000, or $1.2 million today, on Blue Bloods, his career has amassed an impressive wealth. Outside of performing, Selleck has a fortune estimated at $45 million. For his famous shows, including investments in real estate and syndication deals. But this extraordinary good fortune is bound up in highly personal decisions, like giving up his ranch and making judgments that have amazed his family. For what reasons did Tom Selleck's bequest break the hearts of his loved ones? Continue reading to find out what happened before the legacy. One of those stories that makes you want to lean in closer, anxious to hear every word, is Tom Selleck's narrative. He played the iconic mustachioed private investigator in Magnum PI and the steady, authoritative commissioner of the New York City Police Department in Blue Bloods. But behind the scenes, Tom Selleck is a lot more, a man whose life is full of tough choices, a fortune he made by himself, and a great deal of tenacity. Return with me to the first. Tom did not inherit either Hollywood stardom or a life of luxury. He was born in Detroit in 1945 but spent his childhood in Sherman Oaks, California, after his family relocated west when he was 3 years old. Think of a shy, lanky schoolboy who plays basketball on the court without a clue that he will become a legend. He continued his education at USC on a basketball scholarship with the intention of majoring in business administration. Until his senior year, acting was completely out of his league. Think about it, a college student who takes a chance by enrolling in acting school after discovering he loves performance. Living out his fantasies wasn't enough for him. Under the tutelage of famous acting instructor Milton Katselos, Tom diligently honed his craft. Yet another part of his life that had an impact on him should not be overlooked. From 1967 to 1973, he served for 6 years in the California Army National Guard. He took the discipline and loyalty he learned there with him throughout his professional life. Alright, let's skip ahead a little. Selleck's entry into the entertainment industry was less than spectacular. A great number of commercials featured him. Beverages, tobacco products, you name it. On every occasion, he made a beeline for it. Getting minor parts on series like The Rockford Files. Achieving success was no picnic. Multiple TV pilots in which he appeared did not survive past their pilot episodes, and he endured rejection after rejection. Tom Selleck, on the other hand, stayed. He persisted. Next year, 1980, was a watershed moment. Thomas Magnum was played by Tom Selleck. Just picture him, mustache, Ferrari, Hawaiian shirt. In Magnum PI, playing the part of the suave private investigator. A phenomenon, not merely a television program. Watching Selleck solve problems in his signature casual manner captivated audiences for 8 seasons. Even the naysayers gushed over him. In 1984, he cemented his status as a television legend by winning an Emmy. Even more astounding is the degree to which this function yielded tangible benefits. When the show was at its pinnacle, Selleck was making $500,000 every episode. When converted to today's money, that amounts to an astounding $1.2 million each episode. It was more than simply cold, hard cash, it became the bedrock of an empire. However, this reveals something about Selleck's personality. Tom requested that the studio reward the staff of Magnum PI with $1,000 incentives during the show's last season. Tom refused to give in after hearing no from the studio. He paid for it out of his own bonus instead. He personally signed the checks. Give that some thought. In your opinion, what percentage of Hollywood stars would follow suit? Your expectation that Selleck would calm down after Magnum PI was reasonable. Not at all. His performances in 3 Men and a Baby demonstrated his range, demonstrating that he was equally at home in dramatic and comedic roles. Dr. Richard Burke, the charming elderly guy who won Monica's heart, and, let's be honest, the hearts of the viewers as well, was one of his most memorable roles on Friends. He was nominated for another Emmy for his work on Friends. This wasn't the end of Selleck's legacy building, though. Blue Bloods, a 2010 drama about a New York City police family, featured him as Frank Reagan. Selleck anchored the show as the principled and stable police commissioner for 14 seasons, during which it became an instant smash. Now we get to the exciting part. With an episode budget of roughly $200,000 and a season budget of $4.8 million, Selleck's compensation on Blue Bloods was a substantial decrease from his mammoth days. And yet, he made no fuss. To keep the program going for viewers, he and his co-stars actually agreed to a 25% salary cut during the show's last season. Once again, it wasn't all about the money for Tom Selleck. It brought his per-episode salary down to $150,000. Everything revolved around the people and the work. When it comes to money, have you ever pondered how Selleck handles his fortune? Acting is only part of it. Smart investments and lucrative prospects outside of Hollywood have been pursued by him throughout the years. For Selleck, syndication has been a treasure trove of money. Let that sink in. Reruns of Magnum, PI, and Blue Bloods are always showing on TV, and with each airing, Selleck earns more money. And we must not overlook their advertisements. From his early days at Pepsi to his more recent work with reverse mortgage advertisements, Selleck has a knack for ensuring the success of his brands. You must be asking how much this guy is worth at this point. Is it the quantity? $500 million is a considerable sum. It's an incredible sum, constructed piece by piece over 50 years of labor. And now for the catch. Selleck isn't content to do nothing with his wealth. He has always been the type of guy to put others before himself, whether it's by donating to good causes, accepting a pay cut to save a show he likes, or giving bonuses to his staff. Plus, there's always more to learn about Tom Selleck's extraordinary life, just when you think you know everything. While $45 million is certainly remarkable, the guy behind the celebrity can be better understood by looking at his life and decisions. We should look at this a bit more. Despite his massive fortune, Tom Selleck isn't content to sit on it. He has constructed a life that combines sincerity, intelligent investment, and perseverance. Consider his California property of 65 acres in Ventura. This place is more than a vacation spot, it's a home. Set in a picturesque valley close to Thousand Oaks, this property is steeped in history. It was actually owned by Dean Martin before Selleck purchased it in 1988. Envision that, Selleck has found solace in a mansion that has a rich history in Hollywood legend. But peaceful nights and family dinners at the ranch weren't always the norm. In the past, it served as an avocado orchard. Imagine TV icon Tom Selleck getting his hands filthy as he strolls among rows of avocado trees. He cherished it, seeing it as his method of remaining rooted. However, the avocado trees were completely helpless when severe drought struck. There are now more than 1,500 native trees on the site. After a long day on set, Selleck may rest in this retreat, which is more of a sanctuary these days. According to him, observing the development of things is delightful. That man has established a life founded in balance, and that equilibrium is no accident. A simple remark, yet it speaks lots. Keep in mind that Selleck left Magnum PI while he was at the pinnacle of his fame. The role wasn't what wore him down, it was the monotony. Instead of succumbing to the Hollywood pressures, he prioritized his family. He went for secrecy. Selleck was unconcerned by the widespread speculation that his career was coming to an end. Whatever was important to him, he understood. But hold on a second, that's not where Tom Selleck's story ends. He gained perspective during his time away from the spotlight, and he returned on his own terms. He did more than play parts, he invented them. Selleck molded his career to his liking by acting, producing, and directing. He was a co-producer on several films, including Monty Walsh and the 9 Jesse Stone features. Seeing him in his role as the complicated and gloomy Jesse Stone gives you a sense of the passion he brings to his performances. You might recognize him from his role as the reverse mortgage advocate for the American Advisors Group, AAG. For Selleck, it's just another method to reach out to people, though it may surprise some. What makes his endorsement effective is his personal investment in it. But wait, there's a twist that you won't see coming. There have been certain bumps in Selleck's journey. There was a water scandal in which he was embroiled in 2015. He was detained by the Calaguas Municipal Water District on suspicion of diverting more than 1 million liters of water to his ranch while California was experiencing a drought. The story went viral, and Selleck ended up paying a $22,000 settlement. It was an unusual setback in Selleck's normally predictable existence, given his meticulousness and groundedness. Nevertheless, he dealt with it and proceeded with his life as usual. The real estate aspect of Selleck's narrative is equally intriguing. In addition to his acting and ranching careers, he is also an astute investor. His Honolulu, Hawaii, residence included a Kulikuli terrace, which he had rented and subsequently purchased. The stunning home was put on the market in 2020 for $4.4 million. That, along with his expansive California ranch, paints a picture of a man who is adept at making his money go farther. The fact that Selleck has kept his priorities clear throughout his trip is what makes it so interesting. He has repeatedly stated that his family is his top priority. Selleck has been a loving husband and father to Gilly Mack for more than 30 years. His daughter, Hannah, is just like her dad. She loves being outside and is well known for her equestrian talents. A member of the tight-knit Selleck family, Kevin is his son from a previous marriage. It's obvious that Selleck isn't motivated solely by money or celebrity. While he takes great pride in his career, his life away from the spotlight is something he's even more fond of. He is a man of integrity, as seen by his decisions to plant trees on his ranch and take a pay reduction to save blue bloods. Then again, not everyone's lives are as planned as Tom Selleck's. Living on a 65-acre ranch makes even $45 million seem like a reach, even though he has amassed a fortune and legacy that most people can only dream of. Tom has talked publicly about it. He doesn't act as if he's unbeatable. The conclusion of Blue Bloods has him worried about his ranch's future and what comes after it. "Hey there! If all goes well, I'll be able to hang on to this place," he half-jokingly claimed once. Envision the legendary Tom Selleck, who has commanded screens for decades, fretting for the future of his cherished ranch. Tom, on the other hand, is very numerate and practical. Even if he isn't personally involved in maintaining fences, the amount of time, effort, and resources needed to maintain a 65-acre property is substantial. Still, as he nears 80 years old, the idea of having to let everything go isn't merely difficult, it's devastating. The property holds sentimental value for more than just Tom. Gilly Mack, his wife of 37 years, has never left his side. They have been through the highs and lows of ranch life together, and everything in between. Their family took precedence, and Gilly, who had a successful acting career in her own right, took a step back. You get the impression that she's the rock upon which Tom's inflated persona rests, the one who keeps him in his place. Hannah, their daughter, spent her childhood on the ranch. She began her career as a professional equestrian there after discovering her passion for horses there. Carrying on the principles her parents taught her, Hannah has made her imprint in the competitive world of horse jumping now that she is in her 30s. Work ethic, self-control, and appreciation for life's little pleasures. Despite the many fond memories and sentiments associated with that property, maintaining it has become an increasingly daunting task. Tom's fairly intelligent. Even he has to own that as a pastime. Ranching isn't inexpensive, but he's always been frugal with his finances. And now that Blue Bloods is winding down, the reliable source of income that has kept things going is going away. What happens next? Hey, Tom did ask once, and I'll be honest and say yeah. 63 acres of ranch land though. Money isn't the only factor, though. Running the ranch is an energetic task, and although Tom looks very fit for his age, he isn't untouched by the effects of aging. Even when he's not physically present, the monotony of ranch life and all of his duties can wear him down. However, Tom Selleck is a character in this. Rather than giving up, he keeps going. To this day. As he bravely faces the future without knowing what to expect. He is seeking methods to continue. Downsizing makes him feel like he's giving up, and he's not ready to give up just yet, therefore he has no plans to retire just yet. The concept of taking a step back is foreign to a man who has dedicated his entire life to building things up, be it his career or his home. Also, his dissatisfaction with the conclusion of Blue Bloods should not be overlooked. "I'm feeling a bit irritated," he said, discussing the frequent apathy towards the show's success. After 14 seasons of solid performances, he yearned for more time, opportunities to create stories, and to continue pursuing his passion. Like a door slamming before he was prepared, the abrupt end was devastating. The mystery remains unanswered at this point. Where does Tom Selleck go from here? Tom isn't the sort to sit idle, so that's the only thing we know in regards to this major subject. He has previously expressed an interest in returning to his roots through creative endeavors, namely those that involve horses. Picture Tom Selleck in yet another western, riding high over a dusty landscape. He claims his heart is leading him there. He has even considered forming a partnership with Yellowstone's mastermind, Taylor Sheridan. And come on, who could say no to seeing Sam Elliott and Tom Selleck co-starring in a huge, gritty western? It's a perfect match. He expressed his desire to ride a horse once more, and his voice betrayed his longing. Surely you can visualize it. Tom Selleck, with his trademark mustache, once again commands the screen as he rides across the tough terrain. However, his next step may involve more than just satisfying his desires. The desires of the target demographic may also play a role. If you've ever wanted to know who Tom Selleck fans would like to see more of, the answer usually comes down to Jesse Stone. Tom is well aware that his dark and complex character has been beloved by viewers for many years. The question of when the next Jesse Stone film will be released follows him everywhere he goes. The author has dropped hints that the character may have more stories to tell, but he hasn't begun writing them just yet. As Tom mentioned not long ago, Jesse is now older. Still, that doesn't rule him out as a potential protagonist. While he discusses it, you can practically hear his thoughts racing. On the other hand, there is the commercial aspect to consider. Tom has been a reliable spokesperson for American Advisors Group's reverse mortgage ads for quite some time. He has a magnetic presence that compels viewers to believe him as he patiently explains intricate financial products on air. He was selected for a specific reason. His honesty is contagious. He isn't showy or extravagant. He exudes assurance, steadiness, and plausibility. Retirees who are considering major decisions with their life savings value that type of assurance. Plus, making a sale is only part of it. Tom is confident in his actions. That's the main reason he consented to play the part. The plot of Tom's future seems to be only beginning to take shape at the moment. Do you think he'll go for one last western ride? Return to Jesse Stone's realm or tackle something totally new? Whatever Tom Selleck does next, you can be sure it will be entertaining.